Guys, my name is Yogesh Sharma. Today I am going to upload a video tutorial based on Cascade or Dropdown using ASP.NET, MVC, EF and AngularJS. So let's start. So in this video tutorial I am going to take two tables. First one is the state table where I am taking state ID and state name, where state ID is working as a primary key, and a city table where I am taking three fields: city ID, city name and state ID, where city ID is primary key and state ID is the foreign key which is referring the state ID of the state table. So this is the primary and this is the foreign key. So I just want that in a single drop down state ID and state name should be displayed, and whenever user select any state from the drop down, then the cities of respective states should be displayed into another drop down. So this is the sample data of my tables. Here you can see that, as I told you, that I have taken two database fields, that is the state ID and state name, where at one we are getting the state Rajasthan, 2 UP, 3 MP and 4 Haryana. Here I told you that state ID is working as a foreign key for the which is referring the primary key of state ID of state table. Here you can see clearly that at one state ID I am getting the city name Jaipur and Kota, and at 2 I am getting Agra and Lucknow, and 3 Gwalior and Indore, and 4 Gurgaon and Rohtak. So let's switch to the demonstration. So I am going to create a new project, state city Angular, empty, MVC, okay. Working on AngularJS, so I have to take the reference of AngularJS. How we can do this? I'm just creating a script tag, and from my computer I can directly copy and paste of AngularJS file. I copied AngularJS file from my computer. I am pasting here. So I have created the script folder, and in the script folder I put the AngularJS file. Now come to the another page, that I am going to create a simple HTML page where the data of dropdown will be displayed. So cascade.html is my page, and here I will get the reference of AngularJS file. I will create my own JS file also over here. So I am going to add new JavaScript file, and the file name is the myapp.js, and the same file reference also added over cascade.html page like this. It's fine. I will write my custom code into the myapp.js file. So first of all, as we know that not a single JS framework can able to execute call the server side code. For example, that you are not able to get the database data using the AngularJS. So I have to create the controller which is responsible to fetch the data from the database tables. State controller. My controller name is the state controller, and this index section I will get the state table data. So first I have to add the reference of ADO.NET entity data model. Click on OK. Generate from database. Next, new connection. Please put your SQL server connection name. After that, select the database. Here I am taking database Ganesha. Okay. Next, entity framework 6.0. Tables. As I told you that I have taken two tables, state and city. Finish. The EDMX file reference has been added over here. You can see the Ganesha entities. Here we have to create various JSON requests. So one thing that what I have to do over here, that is that this dot configuration and the proxy creation enabled equal to false. Okay, so you have to make these changes into your Ganesha entities or your context class, and the constructor of the this context class over here. You have to set this. Okay, fine. Now love to come to the state controller. Here I will get the result in JSON format. So what I will do, I have to create the reference of context class over here, that is the Ganesha entities control dot then you have to get the models reference dv equal to new Ganesha entities. Fine. Where data equal to dv dot states dot to list, and I have to convert this state data into the JSON format. That is why I have to take JSON, return JSON, and data, this will be returned, and behavior of JSON request behavior, you have to make this allow get. Okay, so this particular action will return the state table data in JSON format. It's fine. Now come to the myapp.js. Here I have to create the module and controller. Okay, so where my app equal to angular dot module, and in this module I will pass the reference of my module. I will pass it, and it's my new module. That is why I have to set the empty array dependencies. So here I have to take the reference of controller. So I am going to create a controller. That is, the name of controller is the main controller, and in this controller, okay, in this controller I will take a function and two dependencies. First one is the scope and second one is the HTTP. Here I am going to take the data from the server. That is why I am taking the server $HTTP services, or services I am going to use over here. So myapp.controller main controller function scope entity, and now in this code I will write scope dot states. And what I will do over here, first of all I have to make the get request. How we can do this? In this state you have to pass the reference of your action. That is a state, it's my controller name, and index, this is my action name. After it you will write then, and in then you will write a function, okay, which will have the response, and in this response you will populate your states equal to response dot data. That's fine. Okay, so in this way you can get the data of your state table. So come to the cascade.html file. You have to create the module over here. How we can do this? Write ng-app equal to myapp. Okay, after it you have to write the controller ng controller. Which controller you have recently created? That is the main controller. And in this main controller you are going to take a select ng model equal to s, and after that you have to use ng options, and state dot state id, it's working like a value for the drop down, as state dot state name, it's working like the text for the drop down, for state in states, it's a scope variable. Okay, and close this. Now let me execute the program and let's see that we are getting output or not. Here you can see that we are getting the output, but you can see here that the first argument, first item of this drop down is empty. This is the default behavior of your Angular drop down. So what I can do, I can add a option over here where I will put value as empty, and in this action, in this option you can write like this, select state. Okay, now execute this again and see the output. Now first item is the select state, and another item are the Rajasthan, UP and MP and Haryana. So whenever you select any state, here you can write the model property. that is a S. Okay, so what you will get the output, you will get Rajasthan 1, UP 2. It means that whenever you select any item or any state from the drop down list control, the respective state ID will be added over here in the ng model. It's fine. Now what I have to do, I have to do the I have to get the city table data from the state ID. So I have to write another action. So I am just copied and paste it over here. I have to I have to do some minor changes over here. So get city, this is my another action, and here I will take the ID. This is for responsible for to get the state ID, and here I will write cities. This is my table, and I have to take the where clause over here, where lambda expression m dot or city ID, state ID equal to ID, and the same output I will get. And after passing the ID, so here you can see that whenever you are going to use this particular action, then you have to pass the ID value also over here. So now that another task that I have to create another control, that is the myapp dot child control. This is my another control. So in this child control I am passing the reference of both these of things. Okay, now what I have to do, first when user will make some changes over here like this, it means that whenever user is selecting any item, so ng change event will be raised, or JavaScript event will be raised. So in this JavaScript I will take method that is get cities, and in this get cities I am passing the reference of S. Okay, so as we know that is returning the state ID. So scope dot get cities equal to function, and in this function I have to pass the ID, and we will write this code into this section. I have to make some changes over here. First thing is the get city, I have to pass over here. Then I have to pass the reference also of ID, so concurrent and ID. So ID reference also set over here, and scope dot cities equal to response dot data. So when any data is returning from the get city action, this data will be added into this scope variable cities. Okay, so what I have to do again, now the first thing that we have to make changes over here, I have to take the child controller over here like this, div id equal to not id is not required, div id equal to controller and child controller. As we know that if you are setting any controller into another controller, for example that you are using the child controller over here and main controller over here, so in that condition your child controller your child controller areas are capable to access the properties of the main controller also. So here I am taking the child controller, and in this child controller what is the need of this, because I am taking the child controller method over here in ng change, so I have to pass the reference of child controller. Okay, so okay, so it will return the data. So I have to create another ng change or another select control where I will get the cities. Please I am going to make this comment, I do not require this, I do not the ng change. Model is C, and here I am taking city at city ID, city, that is city name for city. In what I have to do here, I have to set the city's reference over here, and the same thing which you have done into state controller, state drop down, I have to pass select city. Okay, so it's completed now. Now let me execute and see that we are getting output or not. We are getting the Rajasthan state. When you select Rajasthan, you are getting the Rajasthan cities. Okay, when you select UP, then you are getting the Agra and Lucknow, your MP and Gwalior and Indore. Okay, so here you can see that how we can perform the cascade drop down using the AngularJS and ASP.NET, and I also mentioned that how we can use the get request of HTTP. So thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe my channel.